Hey YouTube, it is Vaxel95 here, and today we are going to be doing a review of the Leatherman wingman. This is a very nice, inexpensive multi-tool from Leatherman. First things first, this multi-tool weighs about 7 ounces, and it is 3.8 inches long. One thing I like about this tool is the outside accessible features. So instead of, when you're going to get your knife, instead of digging inside the multi-tool, it is in the outside. Now, let's start with this side. Oh, and before I go to that, I should tell you that the clip on this is removable, but you will need a star screwdriver to remove it. So, say for some reason you don't want to use it with the pocket clip, you prefer to use it with a case, a sheath rather. Well, I can show you this. I have an old Sheffield case here, and by simply putting it in like this, then you can use it as a case. But as you can hear that rattling, it's, well, loose. So here's another fix for that. Clip that over, and then button. And then it's nice and tight. I'm not saying that you have a Sheffield case, but if you have any sort of case will do. Like a multi-tool you're not using. I like the one-handed operations on this. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing it one-handed because I'm not very coordinated. So, you see you have the 420C combo knife. You have the straight blade, and then you have the serrated blade. Honestly, it's not that hard to put up with just one hand, but unfortunately, I find it kind of hard. I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me get you a close-up. Down here, you have the lock on it, which makes it so you can have this locked so it won't fold in on your hand, which I find very useful. So you push there, and then fold. Very useful, right? The next thing I have to show you is to lock these, which also lock. You fan these out, and then you hear that click. Then you have spring action scissors. You can see that these scissors are very well made, spring action. You can cut a lot of things with them. Unfortunately, when I got this, I had to put some oil, a little bit of oil on it to lubricate it, because they would stick like this whenever I would put it in, so I'd have to then put it up. Like drag it up by hand. So I finally got the springs working. I'm not sure if that's happens on all of the wingmans, but it happened on mine. See, the lock is the same way. You fan this out, and then you put these down. So it's a pretty decent little multi-tool. Now, you open these up. See, now what I also like about this tool is it is spring action. Now, the pliers themselves on a lot of Leathermans, you're doing it all by hand, but this is nice and spring actiony. So, you have in that very little tiny hole, right there, you have wire strippers, wire cutters, normal pliers, and needle nose pliers. So, if you hold these together, they do have a little bit of give, which is kind of a little down for this, but for $40 you really can't beat it. And all Leathermans come with a 25-year warranty. So, first I will show you, for the first tool, I'm going to be showing you the Phillips head screwdriver. This can take a lot of abuse. This is very well made. It's very sturdy. This isn't going to break off after a few tries. Honestly, I think you could get the job done with this and feel fairly confident that this isn't going to break on you. Which is always a plus. And they, one thing I forgot to show you is, you hear that click? They don't lock, but they do make a click, and you need a fair amount of force to try to get them unlocked. Now, I'll show you the next tool. We have the flathead screwdriver. Very nicely made flathead screwdriver. This can take, like I said, this can also take a lot of abuse, and this can take a lot of force on it. It could also be used as a mini pry. I wouldn't try to use it to pry open very heavy things, or very big things rather, but seeing as it is very thick, I would feel comfortable using this as a pry as well as a flathead screwdriver. So, unlike other Leathermans, these are a one-size-fit-all thing. You can't replace the bits on them. So if they break, then you're pretty much out of luck. Fold this back up and get to the other side. On this side, we have a box cutter. Now, this little blade is very sharp. It can open boxes pretty easily. There we go. We have a file. It's a metal file. I mean, I guess you could use it on wood, but it'd probably be better off to be using it on metal, because all the wood would get stuck in there. On the other side, we have a 1.5-inch ruler, or measuring device, whatever you want to call it. Gotta give it a close-up. You can see it's marked with inches and centimeters. It's out there so you can definitely know what you're measuring. I mean, I wouldn't measure a football field with this, but if you're measuring something very small, I'm pretty sure you would have no problem with that. And last but not least, on this side, we have a bottle opener and can opener, which is very good for opening cans and bottles. Kind of self-explanatory. And this little V right here, these are wire strippers. They're the main wire strippers on that. There's very small wire strippers, like I showed you on the pliers themselves. Let's get a little close up. You can see the V right there. Wire strippers. All in all, this is a very good tool. About 40 bucks. I bought it at Walmart, but you can also buy it on the Leatherman site, which I will leave a link to it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was clear. Have a good one, and God bless America.